let's kick the tires and light the fires.
Let us light those fires. Perhaps not with Queen 4 offsuit, which hits the muck immediately.
All right. Patrick with a little something in the hijack.
Just the question is to raise or to open jam.
He is
Little deep.
about 18 blinds. Yeah, it's a little deep to have an open jam range, really.
So he does make it a min raise. Axton's got Queen Jack. He did set this final table, eliminating Hecklin.
It feels like a spot where he's going to defend his big blind extra wide here against Patrick.
And that's
right?
because
of the bounty, right?
having the covering stack.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth 60K busting him. Right? It's 60K?
60K straight.
Yeah,
Yep,
okay.
not a mystery. So that is just north of one buy-in for this event, which is 50K.
Yeah, but Queen Jack, obviously a good hand, but I do suspect he would defend probably some hands that like maybe he would otherwise fold but are really close.
Yeah, obviously the bounty format kind of allows players to play wider if they've got the covering stack. We do have something developing here. Open-ended straight draw for Haxton, middle pair for Patrick Antonius.
Yeah, I wonder if Patrick is going to check this back. It looks like he isn't. This is interesting. I wonder if Ike is more likely to play this aggressively because of the bounty here.
Yeah, I think standard practice is to check call with no bounty on the line, but if you've got the covering stack, definitely incentive.
Yeah,
perhaps take what's in the middle or get that bounty.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I do think he probably normally check calls, but does he check raise here because of the bounty? No.
Do have to respect the prize pool portion. 9 on the turn, brings in the straight.
Yeah, the pot's already pretty big, so I can go check, check, and still essentially put Patrick all in on the river for 1.5x, even if Patrick checks this back. This is a tough card to double barrel, is Patrick. He's looks like he's thinking
he wants
about
to bet,
doing
doesn't it?
I feel like some ace-10 is just around the worst hand that you could kind of think about betting again here for value.
Like a queen 10, jack 10 will always want to check to realize the equity with a straight draw. Seems on the line.
I mean, I think if Patrick goes like half pot here, I mean, he's probably folding to a jam, right?
I think so too.
Yeah. So I think he's also probably thinking about if I bet, like, what is my response to Ike's various responses?
He does check it back, and the ace is just the disaster card.
That's a dirty card. I mean, Ike's very incentivized to go all in here with his value hands and his bluffs, right? Because he wins the bounty rather than like betting pot, right? Because that extra 275K or whatever it is also earns him the bounty if he has the best hand. The problem for Patrick now is before it would have been a pure bluff catch against a big bet size, but now, like, you know, you're beating Ike's 2 pairs now, basically. Because, I mean, the only 2 pair you're losing to is ace-king. That jams or
always jams pre,
yeah,
yes.
So, I mean, I would imagine Ike probably bets all in. And I don't see how Patrick can fold that river, really. It seems like our Finnish friend might be on his merry way. Unless Ike chooses a smaller size. But, I mean, this is a hand obviously it's the nuts. So
All in.
yeah,
You're right. Going to go for all of it. But Patrick hasn't snapped off.
Yeah, I mean he'll probably. I don't know. Will he even use a time bank? I would
Yeah.
guess no. Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be the end. The finish. Patrick Antonius. Just an awful river card for him.
GG, Patrick.
It's a short stint for this final table for Patrick.
Yeah, really, really cooler river for Patrick
I
there.
mean, what can he do?
Yeah, I
He
mean,
beat some of the value as well, right? Like King 10, 10-9, or aces, or worse aces up.
yeah, precisely.
Nice hand.
Patrick is going to cash in 8th place for 136,000. Unsure how many bounties he did collect en route to this final table.
One of the real legends of the game. Patrick has been playing the highest stakes for as long as anybody his age. I mean, the guy's in his early 40s, and he's just been playing nosebleeds forever.
I think I know what you're talking about. Do they
They're
like kind of
chicken
wrap
wings
it around?
where they're like they're like thick and they're fried, which is I don't normally get fried food, but those lollipop wings are dope.
They got you.
Yep, they got me. Man, I want some Thai food now. We gotta change the
I
subject.
know.
I'm so
like
hungry.
seriously,
all of a
like
sudden.
it's really one of the worst things you've done to me,
Yeah.
Brian, this trip. I'm salivating as these 2-8s come in. Ace 4 for Punnat Punsri.
Yeah, is he gonna make a move? I don't think it's gonna work in this spot against the small blind aggression here with eights and the dealer button. You just usually make your stand, you know. But
King 10 though.
yeah,
That'll fight.
yes it will.
О, я не было твоего телефона, хотел тебя поздравить.
Oh, all in.
Oh, 3-bet jam and these 2-8s
Yeah, call.
priced in, right?
Петля.
There we go.
Call.
Здесь был бы.
А win там.
I feel like in the last final tables, Mateos hasn't run well. I just see him get busted in this, but I think he's winning this one. El Conquistador, it's his time now.
He's a slight favorite against the King 10. Can Mateos? Oh, so far he is in the lead. Paulie V needs a king or a 10.
We're running clubs.
Yeah. Running clubs is possible now. Plenty of outs. But no club on the river. And that is the end of Paulie V.
Вообще не понимаю.
Чуть нажали.
Will be finishing in 7th place for 183,000. Multiple bounties as well, worth 60K apiece. One Triton title under his belt. Hailing from Lithuania. Second cash of the festival. Not much you could do though. King 10 against the button open against Mateos. Took a shot. Couldn't get there.
That classic level.
The one where the small blind isn't exactly half of the big blind.
Yeah.
That changes things. This should make the small blind play a little bit tighter if it does get folded over to him. Or perhaps in general.
All right, Eigor picked up a hand.
675 on request.
Ike doesn't really need to. Ooh.
I like this question.
One of the worst hands to get.
Yeah,
But there's a bounty on the line.
there is.
Blinds just went up too. So better price.
This is like 4.5 blinds or something. Five big blinds, sorry.
Makes the call, and Yaroshevsky at risk against deuce 4 offsuit. Ike wins it 1/3 of the time.
Now, this is a very clear example of the bounty influencing Ike's decision because he's folding this for 5 blinds without the bounty.
Will Ike be rewarded?
Oh my God.
You know what? He's got a diamond draw and a pair draw against this ace-jack.
Black.
50-50.
No. Oh. No. Black, please.
Yaroshevsky wants a black card.
Mamma mia.
5 is black, holding for Eigor. 1.5 million now in chips.
With a hand that you can clear out with a small bet, right? So you see that in a lot of those kind of spots. It's one of the reasons why, like, say on, you know, like king, queen, deuce, like 3s or 4s want to like c-bet more in, you know, not in every situation, but in many situations they want to c-bet a lot more than like jacks for this exact reason.
Because they're vulnerable, yes.
Because they're vulnerable, but like either one, yes, you could be losing to 7s and jacks is beating, and that's like very unlikely, but the most likely pairs are like a king and a queen, you're still losing. But if your opponent has any kind of overcard nothing hand, such as 10-9 or that's even a straight draw, so let's say like 9-8, 8-6 suited, whatever, right? 10s is like an overcard to them. You're like your opponent would need to hit running 2 pair to beat you, but with 3s, just hitting one of those pairs, 22% or whatever you saw it is. Anyways, moving on to a pot that's looks like it's going to be significant.
Yeah, it's ace-king versus ace-queen. Ponsri. It's small blind versus button, too. There is a decent chance that chips go in some fashion.
3 million.
3 million, so Ponsri practically announcing him all in.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't blame him here. This is like dealer small blind. It's basically a cooler. Yeah. I mean, sub 30 blinds, right?
This hurts. Ponsri played 27 big blinds to start the hand off. Ace-king for Matos. Thailand's Ponsri needs to find a queen. 6 remaining.
Ooh.
There is an opportunity to chop it. If we can find a 3.
Yeah, paired board, kind of nice for Ponsri short of hitting a queen.
Can also pair to 9 to chop it. Oh, and the queen comes in for Thailand's Punnat, Ponsri, and Matos. Just can't get it going at final tables. You mentioned it before where it feels like Matos just can't
Dude,
run well.
he's been running bad. I think at the previous one, like he had jacks versus 3s. I think this was the moneymaker one, if I'm not mistaken, and just moneymaker 3-balled him, and he's on his bicycle. And here, Ponsri did it on the river, and you could see he's a little exasperated there. And Eigor and Adrian both sub 10 blinds, so Shingus is going to be doing a lot of waiting here.
Yeah, he doesn't mind
just
the other
chilling.
players trying to collect some bounties and get that pay jump. 2 7s is going to be good enough for Matos to push into chips. Will he get looked up? King Jack suited. This is actually good for Matos because if Eigor wants to call, Matos covers Eigor and gives him an opportunity to collect the bounty.
I mean, Igor's got a weird spot.
Can he continue?
I think you take this, but
It's definitely time bank worthy.
I mean, if he knew if he was folding that Shingus would call, he definitely folds.
Yes.
But I mean, this is like Shingus doesn't need to call this. This is, you know, a third of Shingus's chips.
It's not like he's shoving Eigor stack where, okay, Shingus is probably going to call very, very wide. So he is going to make the call.
King Jack suited is just like a pretty good hand, you know?
Oh, and Satu Bio's got pocket threes. Is this a possibility? Because there's two
Double
short
bounty?
stacks, double bounty. What if they got the similar type hand? He is going to make the call. We got a three-way all-in, Brian.
Jack. Fuck.
Nice. I take it.
Yeah, Igor doesn't mind. He needs to hit a king or a jack anyway, not just one more small pair to fade.
Yeah.
Я не знаю на твоем месте.
Shingus looking for the 3 for the double KO.
Не знаю. Ну, типа,
Tails wants to hold.
20 тысяч, наверное, надо ехать.
Get Yorshevsky bounty. Here we go to a flop. 10-8-5.
Pretty nice flop for sevens. I mean,
Я его... Подожди, нужно как? Король или 3?
Oh, and the king on the turn is going to give Eigor the best hand. River card is the 6. Another brutal hand for Mateos. 560,000 in chips, but the way that one played out, there's no eliminations. No bounties collected.
no, but I think Mateos is really on life support now after losing that. But yes, as of yet, no bounty. This is a really interesting spot where everybody kind of wants to come in the pot. I just think because that's so obvious, yeah, Punzer, you just can't really do it UTG with 10-3 off, but like maybe Danchev does it with King 8 here.
Yeah, I think Danchev is happy to see Ponsri out. He actually comes in with call.
Which is a little interesting.
It is something we've seen happen at these bounty tournaments when they're trying to collect the short stack. And Eigor, he's got an opportunity to come along. 9-8 offsuit, limping as well.
Another 8.
Is this 8 gonna limp on the button? Okay, so one more limp. Jack 7 for Haxton.
One more limp, why not?
Getting a better price from the small blind.
All in.
Mateos has pocket 9s. Wow, that is an amazing spot to wake up with that.
I mean, he just had already looked at his hand and snap shoved. Now this is interesting, like, will Danchev call? Will Danchev make a little raise here? Because,
Yeah.
right, everybody limp behind, so how does anyone have a premium hand behind him?
I was
Right.
thinking the same thing. Can he click it?
I think he can. He can make it like 800 here.
750.
Yeah. Kind of fun play, and I don't think anyone can do anything about that.
7.
So he just collected
750.
an extra big blind into the pot from multiple players.
This would be I don't know if Shingus is just yeah, that would be a sick back shove.
Realizing what Danchev's doing.
Just like, and just gambling that he doesn't have it, kind of. Because obviously he's doing this with probably most of his hands, and but you don't have it. He knows that, but if he doesn't have it, he can't call you. So you're just kind of playing a game of chicken when your bounty's at stake, but a lot of chips in the middle.
Well, Haxton is thinking about something. This would be heroic. The over limp from the small blind. Because Mateos didn't have to shove any 2 cards from the big blind.
No, it is curious if Mateos would do this with bad hands in order to create this action.
To
Oh, wow.
isolate it, and he's calling with Jack 7 off, and we got a massive pot
Wow, this
on our
is
hands.
Ike is getting out there on a crazy branch in this one. Just calling, he's out of position with Jack 7 off.
Mateos can go up to 1.68 million if he can hold in the main pot. Side pot does exist, 680K.
Put more now.
680 on the side,
right?
680 side pot.
No, I put more. Yeah. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, looks right to me.
Queen, queen, 5, 2 clubs. Mateos looking good. Now there is a side pot to play for, but they want the main pot. They need a hand that can beat a hand that was willing to go all in from the big blind off of that stack.
You guys are playing some poker right now. Jack 7 and King 8 offsuit. And now there is a side pot, so they have something to win even if they don't beat Mateos' hand.
Yeah.
Danev keeps betting, and this is starting to look pretty grim for Jack 7 off. I will say of Ike's 3 actions pre-flop, call was the most surprising to me.
I agree. That was definitely unexpected. It is good news for Mateos as Danev shuts out a hand that had outs. Jack 7 offsuit, that is. Great position. Deuce of clubs. So 8 for the king of clubs removed. And Mateos goes from 410,000 to 1.68 million, 4xing his stack.
With all the money that everyone put in.
Yes, that's true.
Not only the Ike and Danev, but the other 2 calls that folded.
2 more blinds. It's playable. 11 big blinds. There's the champ from the mystery bounty.
Yeah, Yaroshevsky and Satubayev both very sad to see that double.
That
Or
was
quadruple, rather.
one of the most interesting hands we've seen, isn't it?
Yes, that hand was wild.
Все накинулись на, чтобы убить, его не было.
So Queen Jack for Mateos, jamming
1.68.
newly minted stack, snapping off by Ponsri, ace deuce suited. Ponsri with the best of it, 60-40. Ten, 5-5. Mateos needs a queen, a jack, possibly a 9 or a king to pick up outs.
He needs some paint.
It's not paint on a turn.
No.
Can he get there? He cannot, and that is the end of Eigor Mateos, losing once again to Punnat Ponsri.
The man he could not beat at the poker table.
Met his maker. Adrian out in 6th place for $245,000 plus all the bounties he collected. And as you mentioned, Brian, this has just been an awful final table for him.
Yeah, it looked like maybe that changed early on when he won that all in, but then nope.
Next hand, out.
Yeah.
That's going to be in for the Spaniard, Adrian Mateos. Of course, going to be jumping into future events, trying to get a deeper run.
Yeah, really great player, and
Eigor with the ace-5 at the cutoff. Not really an automatic open anyway, but oftentimes players want to use that blocker, and maybe this combination, you know, you like doing more than an ace-6, but...
I mean, it's Punnat's big blind,
Yeah.
and he's the chip leader, and you know he has some incentive to play to win the ante, and I think ace-5 off is probably one of the very worst hands that might make the cutoff.
Yeah.
Opening range, so it makes sense that you would tighten up and axe that off.
Worthy of consideration, but definitely under the circumstances.
Yeah, I like the decision to fold. I think it's probably right. And this looks like it's going to get through. Although Punnat just randomly takes a little bit of time in some of these spots. I think a little bit of posturing.
Well, with the bounty in play, it is a 7 big blind all-in. Perhaps with, you know, 5 big blinds, Punnat would just call most of his range.
Oh, true, yeah,
So
with
it
the
gets
bounty.
a little tricky with 7.
1 million.
And I think he might do it. Hoping his opponent has something like an ace-jack, just running the cards, an ace-8 or something.
Yeah, I
King
briefly
jack.
forgot about the bounty for a minute. Yeah, that's
okay, I'll
why
bring
he's...
it back, baby.
Thank you. Thank you, yeah.
The worst news you can get, you feel like your 4 should not be crushed, but it happens to have the ace-4 of spades and a significant 75% favorite. Oof.
Oh, man. That's pretty dirty.
What do you think? Should we just give him a bear spade or like the deuce of spades here?
I mean, Punnat's just been running good. It's probably just going to be like a 9. Oh, okay.
At least
black.
Rainbow 6 is a chop.
Yeah.
Any
Rainbow
spade.
6 is a chop indeed. But that is going to do it. Unlucky for Shingus. Can't get it in much better. At least you have a bad beat story for the fam. Ace-4 to 10-4. Our 5th place finisher for $313,000.
Shingus Satubayev, and I'll tell you what, he played pretty well at the final table. And, you know, he's newer on the tour, but so far he seems like a guy to watch. Again, not fancy, aggressive play, but just solid, making good decisions. Found a nice check-raise bluff with ace-9 off with the ace of spades on jack-10 little earlier with 2 spades. Some well played, Shingus.
Yeah, deep run in the 100K main event, actually in Jeju for $266,000, 16th place finisher. So he's around. And like we said, when players like that get a little bit, you know, when Lady Luck is on their side a little bit, they're tough to stop.
That'll be good, yeah? All in.
Oh, grabbing chips. It must be a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Good, but doesn't dominate. So the king and 3 are both live, which gives him just over a third in terms of equity. And
King 3 for Punnat. Dimitar Danchev, ace-jack, a 65% favorite to double up. And as we talked about those payouts, this is really huge hold for him, and that's a bad start. Positions well reversed.
it's over.
Yeah, it is over.
I mean, Punnat's really just been sun running these all-ins, just pretty big dogs and just taking it down. It's going to end this final table in spectacular fashion. He now has 72 blinds, and the other two players combined have 29, and are sharing it almost equally. But good run by Dimitar Danchev, great player. Just ran into the steamroller here, huh?
Yeah, not much you can do. Seemed to do everything right on this final table, but sometimes that isn't enough. Sometimes you got to hold. Didn't work out for Danchev. He is going to take home, though, $390,000. So he's hanging on. He's finding a way to still be in this tournament. And then this is what he wants, what he needs, is to win a flip here. You know, one of these two players will call for the 5 big blinds with the 60,000 bounty. So we will get a showdown.
So what you're trying to say is what a Ike wants, what a Ike needs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Whatever makes him
Ike
happy and
sets him free.
sets him free. That would be the Queen 10, what an Ike wants and what an Ike needs.
He's quite happy with it. And Punnat will ISO, I think, here.
Yeah, coming after the bounty.
Yeah.
Ike will be happy to be a favorite. Not insignificant favorite either.
Yeah, almost more than I expected. 62-37. But yeah, just sharing, I guess, a lot of the straight draw cards to kind of cancel each other out.
Yep. When Punnat hits pairs, Ike makes straight draws a lot.
Yeah.
It's probably
Spade blocker for Ike.
Spade blocker plus covering on 4 spade runouts. So.
Ooh, very interesting flop. Middle pair for Ike. Pretty fair fight. The percentages haven't moved at all from 62% to 61%. Open-ended for Punsri.
Okay.
Ooh, 10 of spades on the turn. Trips for Ike. Still open-ended, but now the queen is dead. Needs a 7 or a spade on the river.
And the jack. Yeah, not a great card. There it is.
1.8.
Ike. He's coming. Be like Ike. Huntry now, the unlikely short stack, third in chips, 14 blinds, ace-4. You can tell he's a bit trepidatious about it, but might feel like he needs to shove. And does. Just gotta hope one of these two players doesn't wake up. And Ike seems to like it. He loves it. Pocket 9s, Brian.
Oh, wow. And Punsri, who was the massive chip leader, is now all in with his tournament life at stake and might end up going out in third when it looked like he had a lockdown on things.
Yeah, and no way that I can pinpoint any real mistakes Punnat Punsri's made on this final table. Just hasn't been winning a lot of these runouts down the stretch.
And I mean, how about Isaac Haxton? Went from a couple big blinds to if he wins this, he's basically tied with Eigor going heads up.
And that's going to pretty much do it. Only backdoor hearts for Punnat to hold his hat on, and that's not a lot. And that is going to be the end.
Good luck.
Another great performance from our Triton Tour mainstay, Punnat Punsri, third place. And I'm sure a lot of bounties to take home as well. There's Ike. Can you believe it? 32 big blinds now for Eigor, 31 for Ike. And yeah, again, 473,000 for Punnat Punsri. Can't say enough about this absolute force on the Triton Tour. Great score here in Montenegro.
Yeah, it looked for a little while like he was just going to run away with it. I mean, was just smashing the all-ins, massive chip lead, but just, I guess ran out of steam.
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine. Quite a nice lead in this heads-up match. So, yeah, it's just these moments that can happen. Oh, and the big cooler coming up. This could very well decide who gets their first Triton title.
I mean, it probably will. I don't see how this doesn't get all in. Ike is gonna jam. I mean, he jams ace-8 off, so why not ace-king? And don't think Eigor can fold this one. So, guys, we're gonna see a race where Eigor has a 9% equity edge.
Call.
And there it is. Ike seeing the bad news, really. I mean, of course, it's fine. It's a flip, but when you get snapped, you'd love to see ace-jack or ace-10, but it is the pocket sevens with his friends in tow.
Shingus was at the final table.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So he's been sweating his buddy. Yeah, and Hajiev and Bulgiev.
Oh, bad start. Going to need a little Broadway help or a king or ace on the turn, or Isaac Haxton once again will fall short in getting a Triton title.
Look at Ike just staring across the table at all 3 guys sweating him. There's a lot of
Him
energy
against
to
the world,
overcome
man.
there,
Him against
you
the
know?
world.
He's like, what's going on? I can't beat 4 of them.
All right.
And there it is, Igor Yarashevsky with his first Triton Super High Roller Series title. A big smile on his face, probably a relief. Ike, once again, bridesmaid and not the bride. $1.052 million for the 50K No Limit Hold'em Bounty winner. Getting a nice hug from
16 years play first.
the king himself, Jason Kuhn. And Ike is just, can I get in? Can I still get in this tournament? Get me in there. I got $716,000 more dollars. I got 50 here, right? I got spare 50 right here.